Supremacy battle. Tension in Aso Rock as supremacy battle between Dele Alake, Femi Gbajabiamila, TS presidency apart. Of course, now when you look at these people, then this all those Tinubu boys, they are ready to make Nigeria better. All of them, no be all of them, they Lagos. Tell me one good thing where they happen for Lagos, apart from them. Unfortunately, majority of them are not even Lagosians. Maybe this one is okay, Gbajabiamila might be from Lagos, but majority of them are not from Lagos. But that's been aside. What tangible thing did they do in Lagos? Cherry picking and settling some their party members. Is that what you call development? Or with this Agbero they are supporting? They are looking the other way as if they don't know what is going on. So, Alake, me, I don't even know her before. Now, this period, I can't the year about time, or maybe some people know her, but not be popular as other people. And they say, I don't know that. And this Oya Wale, whatever they call them. Somebody they call it this Alake Alakore. So, is it these people that you think that they are in power? Just is their turn. It was the turn of the Northerners. It has always been their turn. The South had a bit or a bite of it, and they use it to enrich themselves. You see the likes of Edward Clark and Yorisha Jafford, many of them like that. They feed the Aso Rock because now they get power as at that time. So it's all about it on my own turn. And I've said it times with self number for as many who care to listen. Is that even if you have a useless Igbo man, if you have a very useless Igbo man at the helm of affair, it is going to be business as usual until we have a responsible person, irrespective where the person comes from. It does not matter. What matter most is having a responsible person that will carry other people along in within integrity space, not carry along say to me and no say to you. No, that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, the supremacy battle that is allegedly currently brewing between Dele Alake, the special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on special duties, media and publicity, and Femi Gbajabiamila, the chief of staff to the president, will tear the thin fabric holding the already delicate presidency apart, if not quickly contained. Both men have been in contention since the new government was inaugurated, allegedly over whose words should be law in the presidency and who would have the presidency's ears. Why they both maintain a close relationship with Tinubu, the only reason he gave them sensitive positions to man and to function is in different capacities. Alake allegedly feels is superior to Gbajabiamila, and in fact anyone else within the presidency because of his relationship with the president, which dates back to the days of the National Democratic Coalition (NADECO) and the struggle to entrench democracy. Alake considers himself as an old brigade who works closely with Tinubu as Commissioner for Information when the latter was governor in Lagos State. He allegedly sees Gbajabiamila not only as a neophyte but also as an outsider. Even though his official portfolio as a special advisor was announced, Alake was already throwing his weight around within the presidency and presenting Tinubu in talks with either organized labor or various pressure groups. As soon as his portfolio was announced, he inserted himself into the itinerary of the president each time he went on foreign trips and sat directly behind him at fora, much to the amusement of many who never saw past special advisors assert themselves in such a manner. Alake's actions, which have already begun to earn him some flack, has allegedly relegated the chief of staff to the background, rendering him unable to discharge his duties. For avoidance of that, some of these duties include, but not limited to, managing and advising the president, presenting him in meetings or representing him in a meeting, the president's meetings, emails and phone calls with internal and external stakeholders, managing the president's calendar and prioritizing his time and schedule, controlling the flow of people and information into Aso Rock. One other very important duty of the chief of staff is selecting and supervising senior staff member and their offices, including managing and designing the structure of the star system. This Alake has allegedly totally usurped. A clear example or is what is the recent appointments of Ajuri Ngalile, an ex-aide of former President Muhammadu Buhari, as Tinubu's special advisor on media and publicity. Ajuri's appointment was alleged to have been made possible by Alake, much to the charging of many. They wonder why, even if he had to find a job for Ajuri, it had to be such a high-ranking position, which you ordinarily have to go to Tunde Rahman, a veteran in the media industry. A former newspaper editor, Rahman has worked closely with Tinubu when he was a private citizen as his personal assistant on media and publicity. This set of people are of the opinion that Tunde, who is a more experienced communicator compared to Ajuri, should have been elevated to the status of a special advisor, which is equivalent to being a minister, from his current position as senior special assistant to the president of media matters, rather than hand Ajuri, a less experienced communicator, the position. Gbajabiamila, however, is fighting back and has refused to be dormant. He said to have put on his fighting gloves in preparation to hissing out all the so-called power blocks close to the president and assert his full authority. The machinery for this he has already activated. On Alake part, hopefully he gets busy with his new ministerial portfolio so that they will both carry out the various duties assigned to them peacefully. Oh, yeah, you. This is the handiwork of mischief makers. Is it today that they have been working together? Everybody working under the temporary government of Tinubu is under Gbajabiamila, because when you go to Aso Rock Villa, the office, of course, the next to the office of the president, while that of Alake is almost after the Aso Rock gate. Who is this Wali Edu to compare himself with Gbajabiamila? Is it Wali Edu or Alake? Who special advisor compared to chief of staff? May God tear them apart. The more in Jesus' name, may anything unity never coexist among them. I don't believe this, and it is if it is true. There's nothing extraordinary about it. Both are human beings, which naturally have interests, personal prejudices, superior and inferior complexes, arrogance and humility, means. I don't really believe this is true. Make an idea.